In the battle of the 4th and 5th seeds in the West, the 4 seed remains there. The Lakers win at 134-127. Both teams 50% plus, but the Lakers win it tonight with 19 3-point makes and a huge edge at the free throw line. Both teams 30-plus assists. High-quality basketball game tonight. The Grizzlies 64 paint points. Desmond Bane leading the way for the Grizzlies with 29. Game high 31 from Austin Reaves. 29 by Doncic. 25 for LeBron. For Brevin and Fish, I'm Pete. Thanks so much for watching. Our next telecast is Tuesday when the Grizzlies host the Warriors on FanDuel Sports Network.
Welcome to Grizzlies Live Postgame presented by your Mid-South Ford dealers. Good basketball game tonight at FedEx Forum. Unfortunately, the Grizzlies on the losing end, 134-127. Grizzlies never led in the first half, got the lead in the third quarter. A lot of emotion in the building, as you see from Zack Edey. Grizzlies were able to get the lead, but not able to hold on to it as they fall by 7, 134-127. Welcome, everyone. I'm Rob Fisher, Brevin Knight, and Chris Vernon alongside here on Grizzlies Live Postgame as we wrap this one up between the Grizzlies and the Lakers tonight. Not much of a difference in this game. A couple of easy things to point out that you say that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, the three-point line, the free throw line. Those are two places that you turn to. And really, after the first quarter, the Grizzlies down 11, they win the basketball game by 4. After the first quarter. So it was just that the Lakers did a great job of getting off to a great start. They were able to knock down the threes. They got clean looks. And then in the fourth quarter, the Grizzlies just couldn't find the baskets that they needed on multiple possessions, where conversely, the Lakers knew exactly what they were doing, who they were going to, and they were able to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, small picture is there's a bunch of good things to take out of this, right? Yep. Good performances by your best players. Really good performance by Zack Edey tonight. Great performance off the bench from Scottie Pippen tonight. The big picture is you can't expect to score 135 to win basketball games, right? That 134 number is extreme, and that has to come down, right? This team has got to be able to hold a team to a reasonable number for you to be able to win these games, because you're going to have to get 135 to win this game tonight.
Well, and you know what Luka Doncic and LeBron James are capable of doing at night in and night out for the Lakers, but boy, they had a third go in large tonight, and it was Austin Reaves. He was a huge impact for the Lakers tonight.
I mean, look, this guy terrorized us a few years ago in the playoffs, so we have all too much familiarity with Austin Reaves, but in a game that featured star after star after star available, he was the best player on the floor tonight.
No, listen, the thing is, you got to give him his respect. And what he has figured out is how to play alongside two Hall of Famers. And what he has been able to do is play his game, which is, if I stand still threes, I take the threes. He is an excellent pick and roll player, because once he gets by the screen, if the guard has not gotten back in front, he keeps him behind. He has nice size. He makes mid-range shots. And for whatever reason, he has now been able to ascend more and more for this Los Angeles Lakers team, and they're going to need him as they go into the playoffs, because you need another scorer, a facilitator on the floor. And with Luka and LeBron, after that, there's a steep drop-off in terms of who else can do those things. Austin Reaves fitting right in.
Well, and until you got to that very last free throw that Luka Doncic missed, those two guys who were primary ball handlers for them, and when they weren't scoring, they were able to get to the line. They had hit 21 straight free throws between the two of them. Luka missed that last one, so they ended up 21 for 22. So if they weren't scoring, they were getting fouled and they were going to the line and making you pay for it.
Yeah, and knocking those down for sure. They 25 of 27 in the game for the Lakers at the free throw line. Grizzlies were 13 for 18. After a really tough game in Oklahoma City for Desmond Bane, Des came back tonight and really exploded in the third quarter. When the Grizzlies needed to run and get back in the game, Desmond Bane got him back in the game.
Yeah, this was great to see, because he's had a rough go against the league's best, right? The Cleveland games, the Oklahoma City games. We haven't gotten the best version of Desmond Bane, so this was super promising, because here's what we know. If you're able to get into the playoffs and you're able to draw, you're going to be playing against a good team, Desmond Bane's going to have to be great for you. And so this was super promising to see him be this good against a good team.
Yeah, and I thought they also just did a great job of getting him the ball on screens that didn't require him to have to create his own shot every single time. The start of that third quarter, they continue to run the little high screen flare action for him. He was coming off the screens ready to shoot. And so that's something that they can continue to incorporate for him. Then that makes it a lot easier. And this is a lot better to give you a rhythm shooting the basketball, especially for a guy that's a shooter.
He's playing much more like a shooting guard.
Yes.
Right? He had the ball in his hands and was dictating the offense an awful lot throughout this season, and it made it hard for him to create his own shot.
Yeah. For Desmond Bane, 2 double-digit quarters tonight for Des. He had 10 in the second quarter, 13 in the third quarter, on his way to 29 points. Our first look tonight with the Los Angeles Lakers of Luka Doncic being a part of the Lakers. What's your impression of them with Luka?
This is unfair.
I mean, he's the exact same player, except now his running mate is his Hall of Famer LeBron James. And then we just talked about what Austin Reaves is able to do. And so he's still one of your best pick and roll players, but he's also one of your better one-on-one players. So tonight, the ability to draw fouls, the ability to make plays for his teammates. And the thing that you have to try to use against him as much as possible is when he's on the defensive side, you have to go at him as much as possible to try to have some advantage. But other than that, he looked like Luka.
Except a lot happier. Like, he used to always be complaining all the time every time I played him in Dallas, right? Every play, he's just like, I can't remember the term I used, persistently aggrieved. Something was always wrong, right?
Right.
He smiled more I saw his teeth more tonight than I've seen in his whole career combined. And I mean, it's wild to watch it in person. It really is. Cause I mean, you're watching Austin Reaves cook on the other side. It's like, oh yeah, I can pass it out to Luka Doncic if I want to. It was just Luka and like 4 role players outside of the 1 year that he had, Brunson with him. But this is an embarrassment.
Yeah, 29 points for Luka tonight, 9 assists and 8 rebounds in the win for the Lakers. The Grizzlies got a body back tonight. It was good to have John Morant back out on the floor after he missed a handful of games with a hamstring. Looked like it bothered him a couple of times tonight, but he played through it, and Ja played through it very well tonight.
Yeah, it did look like it bothered him, but he was super active tonight. You could tell he really wanted to get this one, and you could tell in that fourth quarter during that last stretch where there's a couple bursts of energy, he really did start limping, and I thought we may not see him back in the game. Obviously, he came back in the game with 4 minutes left in the game, and Lord knows I know he wish he had that step. The game's on 6, and he takes that step back 3. That's a 3-point game, and the roof comes off the place if he knocks it down. Instead, he missed it, and that was all she wrote from that point on. But look, he's a little rusty simply because and he was trying to deal with Dorian Finney-Smith guarding him in the first half of this game, but he found his spot certainly as the game went on, and this was promising.
It's nice for someone to say they think that you got to knock the rust off, but you go out and get 22, 10, and 8.
I know.
Against the Los Angeles Lakers. That speaks to how great of a basketball player he is. And the thing I thought I give him credit for, to start that third quarter, he realized who the hot hand was, and he continued to feed Desmond Bane. And then in the fourth quarter, where they needed a little bit more of a boost, then he took over offensively. I think as this season winds down, as they get into the playoffs, it's something that he's going to continue to be able to do. When to take over, when to rely on your teammates.
Grizzlies fall tonight 134-127 to the Los Angeles Lakers. We will take a break here on Grizzlies Live postgame presented by your Mid-South Ford dealers. Desmond Bane with the pass to Ja. Ja with 22. That's 3 of them there. Jaren Jackson Jr. in foul trouble for the first half. Came out, scored 22 in the second half on his way to a 24-point night, but not enough for the Grizzlies as they fall to the Lakers 134-127. We've talked about the Lakers and their performances tonight. It was a big 3. Austin Reaves, maybe the player of the game for the Lakers tonight, but Luka Doncic was fantastic. Oh, and LeBron James. LeBron had a very nice game tonight as well. A quiet near triple-double, a quiet 25, I thought, for LeBron.
Oh, listen, you're talking about quiet. All 3 of those guys knocked on the door of a triple-double in this game here tonight. And the thing for LeBron, what he likes is that he doesn't have to do it all. I think even when he had Anthony Davis, he still had to get the ball to Anthony Davis for him to do something. Well, now he has 2 guys, and I think Austin Reaves has just continued to ascend. 2 guys that they can get it, they can get their own, or they can get me an easy shot for a change. And so the thing that you're seeing from him is he continues to divide time, continues to defy all aspects of what he should be doing at this point. And I just thought he did a good job of taking his time and taking advantage of size mismatches when he had them.
Well, and then he's in the best possible scenario for him, which is I will expend as much energy as I have to. So in the fourth quarter, you had Austin Reaves doing his thing, Luka doing his thing, and LeBron doesn't have to, right? He's at that moment right now, and especially with the sidekicks that he's got, you can watch him, and it's like, all right, tell me when you need me to turn this thing on. I'll crank it up on both ends when you need me, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah. He was big tonight, knocking on the door of that triple-double with 25, 6, and 8. Grizzlies fall tonight to the Lakers 134-127 under new interim head coach Tomas Iisalo, and he is downstairs visiting with the media.
Yeah, I mean, they are a very potent trio, just like ours. I thought the difference was our start to the game. Unfortunately, the first half was not at the quality that we need in order to beat a team of this quality, and that's something we got to work on. We got to get better. We know that time is of the essence. We're facing a back-to-back after tomorrow, but very simple. I can already say, like, a lot of times you don't know what happened during the game really before you watch the video, but I can already say, like, we failed at the basics in the first half, so got to do a better job with those.
Before we get to the locker room is open.
Hey, Coach, even though you got off to a really bad start in the first half, what did you do better in the second half defensively to get back into the game?
Well, I thought it was encouraging. Now, like, the goal of the game is the win, obviously. So we can't be happy with our performance. But it was encouraging to me that after that lackluster start, we did a lot of things a lot better in the second half. We had better on-ball pressure. We did better in our pick-and-roll defense. We did not allow the opposition to get easy offensive rebounds. We applied friction, as we like to say, in the full court to wear down their best players and not just allow them to jog into their spots and get the exact shots. It's a lot of things, but we must develop a mentality that is very difficult and arduous to play against us. And the first half was not that. And in the second half, that was the case. And that has been the common thread in the good defensive games or in the good games overall for us.
Well, I mean, Chris, you said it at the beginning of the show, there were a lot of positives, I think, to take from tonight's game. But the bottom line is, as he just pointed out at the end, he still gave up 134 points tonight.
Well, and also, what's the difference in the second half where you were better? And that is Jaren Jackson Jr. is not in foul trouble. He is absolutely essential to this team even being able to function defensively. I mean, he is that important. And in a big game against a potent team, you can't have him in foul trouble. He has to be out there on the floor.
I think the other thing scheme-wise is as they go back and watch, see if they'll do a better job of when you got bigs in the basketball game, you got to let your bigs take care of everything at the rim. So many times they are trying to help in the paint from so far that now you can't get back. So on those drives to the basket, it just has to be either the bigs are going to block, the bigs are going to contest, but they got to stay at home a lot more, especially if you're coming out of the corners. Very hard for you to start helping out of the corners because it's hard for anybody to now be your cover as that person now is a kick out to that. So there's still some tinkering that they can do with that defensive end just to cut down the good looks that teams are getting from the three-point line.
Well, one of the bigs for the Grizzlies tonight, Zack Edey, he had a big game, showed a lot of emotion tonight as well, and had one of his best games here in a while. Double-double for Zack, going for 14 and 11.
Well, I mean, like, look, Zack Edey is most comfortable being able to set that high screen and play off of that. You saw possession number 1 tonight. They set 2 high screens for John Morant, and it was like, oh, okay, this might be a little different, right? They're obviously, and we saw more of that over the course of the last couple of weeks, even with Taylor Jenkins on the sideline, as they're trying to get Ja going. But part of getting Ja going is also getting Edey going, right? Because now he is involved in the action, and now he's diving to the basket, and he can finish it if you give it to him around the basket.
I like the emotion at which he played with. It was some of the most demonstrative actions that we have seen from him all season long, and think he realized the caliber of the game and what you had to do. And so it was nice to see that. And now this is just the growth from here. You want to see the next game. Can you continue to get better? And then the next game, can you get better? But teams are going to continue to put him in screen and roll action, and he's going to have to play it, move his feet, do a good job. But I thought tonight was a great game for him in terms of another positive step in his development.
And these next 2 are going to be tremendous tests. to see if he can be effective and he can be an advantage against both Boston and against Golden State. Because otherwise, they're just going to space you out and not make you available, right? So you've got to be this kind of dominant interior presence in order to be able to stay on the court, because defensively they're just going to put so much pressure on you.
Brevin, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, now.
I'll see you here Monday, I assume, and then we'll be working again on Tuesday.
When do we work? Tuesday, right?
Tuesday. Okay. I just wanted to.
So you'll see me Tuesday.
I know that for sure.
Right, there you go.
I'll look for you Monday, though. Thanks, man.
Tuesday.
We'll take a break here on Grizzlies Live post game presented by your Mid-South Ford dealers. Grizzlies fall tonight to the Los Angeles Lakers, 134-127. We're back with more after this timeout. As Lakers outscore the Grizzlies by 11 in the first quarter, didn't look back for the rest of the half. Grizzlies briefly took the lead in the third quarter, but the Lakers with some big shots down the stretch to win it by 7 tonight over the Grizzlies. You mentioned earlier one of the big parts of the Grizzlies' lack of success in the first half tonight was Jaren Jackson Jr. was not on the floor. He only played 7 minutes, 53 seconds in that first half, but then played 21 minutes in the second half, and we see what happens when he's on the floor.
No, it's a huge difference because, look, they don't have a bunch of perimeter defenders that stay in front of everybody. He cleans up so much on the defensive end, and obviously offensively he has been fantastic this year. It's just, this is one of those games you've got to have him more on the court like 35 minutes rather than 28 minutes, and him being in that early foul trouble just took him out of the game.
Yeah, he had 13 points in the third quarter, 9 in the fourth. He had just 2 points at the halftime break, but as I said, played just 7 minutes and 53 seconds. Would finish with 28 and a half minutes and finish with 24 points, 22 of them in the second half, 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3 as well. Had a block and a steal for the Grizzlies tonight, but not enough for the Grizz. 3 players over 20 points for the Grizzlies tonight with Ja, Dez, and Jaren Jackson Jr. For more on tonight's game, let's head back down to the floor. It's time for tonight's Rewind, and tonight hosted by Lang Whitaker and Michael Wallace.
Welcome into your Grind City Rewind. I'm Lang Whitaker alongside Michael Wallace. The Grizzlies just fell 134-127 against the LA Lakers. Coming off that long road trip, Mike, we knew the Grizzlies were trying to get back right. Got behind early, made a big run in the second half to take the lead again, but just couldn't close out this veteran Laker team.
Yeah, I mean, this was one of those games you knew it was going to be an emotional night, obviously, with the coaching change, coming back home for the first time in 14 days, and then you go up against a team that's just as desperate as you are. You're tied with the Lakers coming into this game to get the number 4 seed, which is home court advantage in the first round. The Grizzlies came out a little bit sluggish. They gave up way too many threes. They gave up 72 points in the first half. The recipe defensively just didn't get fixed tonight. It's going to take some time. But that was the difference in the game. The Grizzlies just gave up too much. Even though they overcame that, they gave up too much at the beginning of the game from the three-point line.
Like you said, the Lakers 12 for 24 in the first half on threes, 50% on threes. But I thought in the second half we saw the Grizzlies start to figure out some adjustments and start to do some things. Really held the Lakers in that third quarter to only 30 points, scored 38, got back into the game. How about the game also tonight from Zack Edey? A big impact from him tonight.
Zack Edey had a great game. I mean, this is the kind of game where if you're Zack Edey, it took a long time, but you can build on this. You can also build on what Jaren Jackson Jr. did in the third quarter. He overcame that early foul trouble and had a phenomenal third quarter when the Grizzlies overtook the Lakers and had it. But when you have Luka Doncic and you have LeBron James, it's just tough to close out 2 of the greatest players that we have in this league, 2 future Hall of Famers. The Grizzlies just didn't have enough. The difference in this game, Lane? The free throw difference. The Lakers were almost perfect from the free throw line. They only missed 1. They outscored the Grizzlies by 6 points from the free throw line. They won the game by 7.
Well, they also shot 10 more free throws than the Grizzlies did. I don't know if that buzzer was for us, but we got to get out of here. Grizzlies are back in action here on Monday against the Boston Celtics and Tuesday against the Golden State Warriors. Not a lot of home games left. Come on down, see the Grizzlies before the regular season ends. For Michael Wallace, I'm Lang Whitaker. This has been your Grind City Rewind.
All right, thank you very much, Lang and Michael. Grizzlies falling tonight, 134-127. Lakers 25 of 27 from the line. Grizzlies just 13 of 18 from the free throw line tonight. Let's go down to the locker room. Jalen Wells, who finished in double figures tonight as well. All 5 Grizzlies starters finished in double figures tonight. Jalen, he's visiting with the media downstairs in the locker room.
I mean, I'm very thankful for, probably known Jenkins for 5 months, but just the amount of development and how much confidence he had in me and just, the situations he put me in. So a lot of I'm definitely grateful for that. But I think we did a pretty good job just turning around. I mean, obviously we came out a little slow, kind of hurt us in the end, but I think we're in a good spot.
What do you guys have to do? Well, you hope they're in a good spot mentally, because I think after a coaching change like this, especially in the middle of a season, players can go one of two ways. They can say, hey, it's on me and it's on us. We need to take over and kind of get going. But, or you can just kind of say, well, we're down in the dumps.
Well, I think
we're going to go the other way. I don't think they did that tonight.
No,
for sure.
I think the good thing was that your three best players took ownership of the team.
Yeah.
Right? There's a pecking order on this team. That was the pecking order. The other guys have got to augment that, but that your success and failure is going to be dependent upon these three best players. And so it's on them now. And it was great to have John Morant back in the lineup. And I think the more they continue to simultaneously be fantastic, that will lead to the results that they want.
Sure. Absolutely. Grizzlies now with 8 games remaining on the schedule. As you take a look at the 8, home Monday and Tuesday against the Celtics and the Warriors, back out on the road for 3, and then home against the Timberwolves with a back-to-back at Denver, and then to wrap the season up with a game against the Dallas Mavericks. A huge back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday, especially on the Tuesday side with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at those 8 games I told you in the pregame show. Going into tonight, you had 9 games left. I think you got to get 4 of them to be safe, to not have to play your way into the play-ins. I think 48 will get you that 6th spot, and so we'll keep an eye on that, right? We still got to get 1, right? You got 8 left. You need to at least go 500 in those games to assure yourself not having to worry.
I think we all hoped, obviously, for a win tonight.
Sure.
You want to get a win in this situation more than ever. But I think we saw a good effort from the team, and I think encouraging sign from the team tonight.
Just don't give up 134.
Yeah. 39 in the first quarter. That was the difference tonight. Grizzlies were down 11 after the first quarter. They lose the game by 7, 134 to 127, despite 29 from Desmond Bane, who led the way for the Grizzlies, 24 from Jaren and 22 from John Morant, but not enough on this night against the Lakers. We'll be back with you Tuesday when the Grizzlies take the Warriors. Until then, good night, everyone.